All right, Jack, you ready to do some water changes and some aquarium maintenance today?
Yeah, but this thing's so old and nasty. Can we just get a new one?
Hey, we don't have to. Hygger sent us one. All right, guys, this is going to be a pretty fun video today. We got a lot of things going on. First of all, we're going to do kind of a comparison and contrast kind of video between my big, huge 30-year-old Python that I've been using pretty much the entire time that I've been in the fish hobby, almost, and kind of compare and contrast it to the new one that Hygger just sent us, that they've been kind of sending some of the fish tubers. Go ahead and hold that box up so you can see how nice and fancy it is. When you have aquariums and you're in the aquarium hobby, you have to be able to kind of do water changes and take your water up and down, especially when you got a big crazy pond like this, which we're going to have a whole series of videos following up to our initial video, which we released just about a week ago. And we're also, during this video, going to be showing, if you're more of a DIY kind of person, how to make something like this for even half the price of the cheapest one on the market, for one thing. But if you're not a DIY person and you really do want something like this because you're maybe new to the hobby or you're just not a DIY person, the cool part is we have a coupon code for this, so you're still going to be able to get this very, very inexpensively. Actually more expensive than any other kind of water changer on the market. But we're going to evaluate it and check it out. And because I have this old one and because we're going to be redoing it and DIYing one, we're going to be giving this one away.
Look at how clean that tube is.
All right, let's take a better look at this. All right, first of all, as you can see from this mess on the floor, Python has been the leader in this sort of thing for many, 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 many years. There are other ones as well. It's very simple. They have a little thing like this that you can put on your faucet, and you screw it into your faucet, and we're going to be showing that. And then there's a big long tube. Years ago, what I did is I bought two of these 25-footers, and I joined them together. You can see right here that they have a little thing that comes with them so that you can add on there if you want. Now, this tubing is not necessarily inexpensive, and honestly, you can just use garden hose, which we're going to talk about. Because I've used that for many years as well. And then it comes with an ending. Now, here's one of the things that you're going to see that just about every fish tuber in the entire planet has done a video on how to make a little U-clamp. Now, we made this and have done several videos on it, and many other fish tubers have, for just a few dollars. Python, however, sells a little hook that's about $12 or $13. They also sell these endings for a couple bucks, and they also sell these for only $5. Hygger sells it as a whole kit, just like Python. However, they also sell the pieces and parts too. You can buy this separately. Theirs, however, is not $5 or $6. Theirs is more like 11 or 12. It does come with the fittings. These are all plastic. They do sell one with brass fittings. The Python comes with a brass fitting on the top, but we're actually going to show you how you could buy your own. But it is nice that they come with them. Now, this is a 50-foot tube, and as you can see, this is very similar to the quality of tubing. It comes with a little vac thing.
There's a little shower one.
Yeah. So the reason that these are cool is because if you're vacuuming your gravel, like if we wanted to vacuum the gravel in our pond.
It won't suck up the gravel, it'll suck up the stuff.
Right. It sucks up all the nasty stuff and leaves the gravel behind. Or possibly, like in our case, in the pond, turtle, pieces of their shell that break off, like that right there. You can see that little black piece, because their little shells kind of peel off, by the plates. So anyway, it's exactly the same. This one, however, we're going to take a look over here at the computer and kind of contrast and compare a little bit. All right, guys, so we're going to do a little bit of a contrast comparison here real quick online. As you can see, Chewy, very good company. They sell things very inexpensive. And we actually went on Amazon as well and compared, and they were very close in price. As you can see, the 50-foot Python does come with the same things. It does, however, have this little thing where you can put it on, which we have noticed the Hygger does not. However, this is almost twice as much as the Hygger one. If you go to Hygger's website, theirs is only $39.99 for the 50-foot as opposed to $83. It pretty much comes with everything the same. I mean, quite honestly, it's almost unbelievable how how expensive the Python is. Now, I bought my Python years ago when I worked for a pet store, so I got a very good deal on it, and I've kept it all these years. And yes, Jack is right, it is nasty. This is another company that sells them, Aquarium. Again, still more expensive, even on Chewy, $46. It seems very similar. The vacuum tube part is a little bit thinner and smaller, so I don't love that, and it's also shorter. But again, the 50-foot is still more. Now, obviously, I don't see why anyone would buy the Python because they're all plastic. I will say after many years of having this, that this plastic has lasted me 30-something years, and it is very tough. I can't really attest for what Aquarium or Hygger would be like because I haven't had them for 30 years. I mean, you would think plastic is plastic, but that's not always the case. Now, with our 15% discount, then obviously it's going to be like another $6 off this. So, you know, that's going to be pretty incredible. Now, this is where we put our pond over here in our little in-law suite area. And obviously we have the beta tanks here and everything like that. And we do have a sink right here, which is super, super nice because it's kind of like a kitchen. This is the reducer that the Python comes with. It is brass, and I have had it again for well over 30 years. However, you can buy one of these in the kitchen area of just about any kind of home improvement store. It's a little bit shorter, but it fits exactly the same. And it will go on here, and it costs about $6 at just about any type of home improvement plumbing store. However, you won't find it in the can't do it with one hand when I'm trying to look through the thing. However, you won't find it, oh, there it goes. You won't find it in the plumbing section. You have to actually look in the kitchen section. So that may throw you off a little bit. And obviously that'll go right on here. Basically what it does is it changes your sink into a garden hose type of fitting. Okay. Now, here's the cool part too, is you can buy one of these from pretty much, you know, Amazon or Chewy or whatever for about $5. And then you can just buy the tubing and you can make one yourself if you're a DIY kind of person. If you're not, you can do this one. But it doesn't come attached, so you got to attach it anyway. Trying to find really long tubing like this can be difficult. A lot of places will only sell certain sections of them, or they'll sell it by the foot. Okay, so just a quick glance, you can see that the Hygger is plastic, similar, but I will say right away from touching this, this does seem like a little bit of a softer plastic thread on here. As far as the adapter goes, obviously that would screw into here, but again, don't know that it would last 30 years. Now again, you could probably get some sort of reducer, just like we did. You could get one of these kind of deals, and you could use it with this. But again, when you start to use metal and plastic together, it can sometimes be kind of funky, so you just want to be careful. The reason that this has lasted me so long and that these have not stripped or had any problems is honestly, I'm just careful with them. Dad's careful with everything, isn't he?
Yes. Yeah,
I always say, be gentle with stuff and it lasts forever, right?
Yeah.
And it does. It does. This is proof. So as far as that goes, we're going to go ahead and hook this guy up and we're going to kind of show you how to put the tube and stuff on. Okay, so as you can see, they've got a couple different, things as far as how it's going to fit. It comes with all three, very simple. This is going to be the one that goes on here and fits into your faucet. And again, all you have to do is take this off. You could take that off with your hand. If it doesn't work, use like a piece of rubber, like one of those jar openers before you start to get tools and everything out. That'll usually take that off. So anyway, this goes on here. And then this guy goes on there. All right, first difference we notice right away is instead of having the valve, go ahead and open that. The way that Python works is you open this and then the water runs through this and sucks the water out of the tank. However, if you close it, go ahead and show how it locks. If you lock it, then the water fills. With this one has a valve where you just turn it. I gotta say this plastic seems pretty light duty here. But again, as long as you're careful with stuff, shouldn't have a problem. All right, this vacuum tube is a little bit longer than Python's. It does have the little adjustment too, so you can get in a little corners and tight spots. I do like that it kind of rotates. Show how it like pivots like that. Pivots. That's kind of neat. You can obviously take that off if you want to get the gravel. Show how that pops right on and off. That's cool. And then that how would be your gravel cleaner. And again, when you put it in, I mean, basically you're going to let the gravel kind of come up, and the dirt's going to go up here and go away, and the gravel's going to fall. Now this, yeah, and then that has that. Now this has the same kind of valve on it if you wanted to shut it off. Like let's say that you were vacuuming a tank by yourself and you wanted to stop it, you can stop this and then you can walk over to the sink. So that's kind of nice. That's what we actually did to our Python. We actually made our own valve on our hook. And again, got that for about $1.50 or so. And these were about 50 cents each, so for $2.50 we made one. But it is kind of nice to have that on there. So these two endings are basically the same. We're just going to show you how to take these off and how to put the hose on. Okay, so basically both of these have these little valves. Again, very similar to most of them, like Python and that. What you do is you take that off. You're going to slip this over the end of the tube. See if you can get that on there. Might have to kind of squeeze it in. There you go. And then that goes on here. Just kind of put that on there. Now again, you might want to reinforce this with your hand. There you go. Squeeze it on there, and then you screw that on. It's really simple. All right, you can do the same thing for this side. You just shove it on. It does go on really easy. I do like these ends. These ends are nice. You shove that on, and then you screw that on. Okay? All right, and not too tight. I will have to say right away that this is a little bit lighter duty, again, than the Python. All right, so there it is. You've got your end. It attaches down. It comes all the way around. And again, with the discount code that most of these fish tubers are getting, you're looking at, what, something like $34, $32 as compared to $85. Big, huge difference with the Python. However, I do have to say that
it's really easy to use, and it's really nice. It's just a little bit fragile.
it does seem a little bit more on the fragile side here when it comes to these plastic things. I think it would be good to have the brass. Again, I do think they have brass fittings. They said that they were sold out before they sent us this one. But again, you can go to the store. You can get a nickel one for $5 or $6. You could also order one of these online on Amazon or on Chewy for $5 or $6 as well. I would highly recommend it because this kind of thing, I don't know. So we have that one open and this one open. We're just going to kind of show. So this would obviously be in sucking mode. So that would suck the water out if you put it in there because it's bypassing. Now, go ahead. Sucking your cheek. Okay, so go ahead and put this in the sink though. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of show what it's like. If you want to fill your tank, you turn this, and then you're going to turn that on. And then obviously that water is going to go right through the tube, through your 50 feet of tubing, and then you're going to be able to fill your tank. Okay? Very simple. Now if I go ahead and I turn this the other way again, it now is going to suck all the way back out of the tubing. Okay? Very, very, very simple, easy process. A little bit easier than doing the old gravity way of sucking the tube like the old guys did and stuff, right?
Yeah.
All right, guys. So overall, great deal Hygger has. For one of these, if you're new to the hobby and you want a great siphon, vacuum for your gravel and all that kind of stuff, water changer, honestly, with the discount for $32 or whatever, $31, that's a pretty awesome deal. We're not loving the plastic valve. I think, again, they may have the ones back in stock with the metal. If not, like we said, for $5 or $6, you could go buy one of these at your store or online or something like that. We would recommend using that. Now, we're going to go over how to kind of do one of these DIY for even about almost half the price of what this costs. So make sure you stick around for that. But we also want to thank everybody for 13,000 subscribers.
Yes.
How awesome is that? When we started this a few years ago, we would have never thought that we would have got that many subscribers, right?
No.
So thank you so much. What we're going to do for you guys is we're going to give this away.
Yeah.
Because we have one, and we're going to be making a new one today and showing you how to do that. So if you're in the fish hobby, or if you know somebody in the fish hobby and you want a brand new one of these from Hygger, we're going to go ahead and give this away. We're going to ask a question like we always do, right?
Yes.
Now here's the rules. It's very simple. Same as always, like anybody does this.
The first answer in the comments, the answer is the one who gets picked.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Again, your comment cannot be edited. Because if it's edited, that means you could go back and like see that somebody else answered it.
Yeah, you could change it.
Yeah. So if you have an edited comment, we're not going to use it. What we're going to ask you is we have 3 turtles. One of them, of course, is Ice Digi, right?
Yes, the big one.
The other one, we did a contest for the name. Tara from Tara's Tropical Tank Friends answered that, and she won a feeder by doing that for her little kitten, Rain.
Yes.
Congratulations to Rain and Tara. Awesome. She named that turtle that we kind of rehomed Kame, which was awesome.
I think it's cool.
We also kind of rehomed another turtle.
A little runt.
A little runt. If you guess his name first in the comments, you're going to win this. All you got to do is email us. Everybody knows our email, metalroar@AOL.com, right?
Yeah.
Say it like you mean it.
Metal Roar.
Metal Roar! And you get this one for free if you're the first one to get that young turtle boy's name. So thanks for that. Now, onward and upward, we're going to kind of dry this out the best we can, get it repackaged back up for the winter, and we're going to show you how you can make one of these for even less than $32 or $33 with the coupon code. Ready?
Yep.
Okay, guys, so thanks again for 13,000 subscribers. We are going to send this out to whoever comments on that little male turtle's name in the comments first. We packaged it back up. Obviously, it's going to be a tiny bit wet because we used it. We didn't use it on any tanks, and that's one of the reasons, is because we were giving it away. But we just wanted to kind of show that it worked pretty much like all of these do. Again, Hygger, great job for the money. Does a great job. Didn't really reinvent the wheel or anything, but they did do it at a really good price. So that's fantastic. Now, as far as how this goes, again, we're going to kind of show you guys a little deal. I did buy 2 of these years ago. I joined 2 of them together so that it would reach throughout the house. And it does. But now that we have this pond over here in this whole pond room, we decided to put this second one to use. So what we did here is we took this little guy that we got at the old Menards and popped it on here. And basically what we're going to show you is that you can kind of take this whole entire apparatus off of here. And that just basically utilizes this whole crimping thing to put a tube on here. Kind of like the way that Hygger did, very similarly, okay? But if you take that whole thing off, you will see that a garden hose, actually, which you may have hanging around, will go right on there. Isn't that super cool? So here's the thing. Garden hoses, especially this time of year, when we're shooting this, it is Memorial Day weekend. It might be after Memorial Day weekend, quite a few weeks at this point in time, because we do sometimes videos ahead of time. But you can go to any type of garden center or home improvement store Memorial Day weekend, and you can get a garden hose for really super cheap. We got one here that is about, I think these 2 little segments were like, I want to say they're 15 feet each, so it's 30 feet. And we got this for like $10, okay? So for $10 for this, and again, you can buy this for about $5, and you can get this for about $5. For about $20, you basically have a siphon. All right, so obviously for our pond, we don't really need to use a vac kind of thing. If we did decide to vac the gravel in here, or if we do decide to do that, honestly, we don't vac a lot of gravel. We have a lot of under gravel filters, and we just don't vacuum our gravel very much. And that's a huge debate that a lot of fish keepers have, you know, whether you should or shouldn't. We just don't. We never really have. But in this, we might have to because we have turtles in here, which is why we put gravel in here, which is why we have a little bit of a substrate. And even though there's going to be fish kind of picking through that and breaking some of it up, even though we're going to be doing some water changes and things like that, we might want to get some of that nasty stuff out. So you can easily buy one of these types of things, and you can just put it on there. And really simply, you could just cut your tube, put it on here. This one's pretty big, so it probably wouldn't fit the Python one, but I noticed that the Hygger one was pretty small, and you could probably fit this over and screw it on. Again, this is kind of a small, skinny garden hose. There are fatter ones, and then that might work on this. But again, it's whatever you want to do. So at the end of the day, this whole system right here costs us about $15 or $20, and it's about 30 feet long. We did and obviously we're going to be able to do the pond and everything over here. Now, what we're going to do with this whole old thing, we're going to get rid of all this tubing and throw it away because it is so old. We're going to take this off just like we did for this, and in order to do all the other tanks in the house, because we have tanks kind of spread throughout our whole entire house, and we usually service those and maintain them through the laundry room, don't we, buddy?
Yes.
Laundry room's kind of in the middle of the house and has a nice big sink, and we can do all this kind of stuff to it. So we decided to go out, and again, Memorial Day weekend, they had an incredible sale. We got a 75-foot hose, which again, the end, we're just going to take this little kind of end thing off of here, is going to go right onto here, as you can see, and we're going to just probably cut the end of this. You can see this is a little bit of a wider tube. We're going to cut the end of it. We're going to put it on the end of our little, this is our little dude that we made, our little U thing, and we're going to put it on the end of that, and we're going to get 75 feet of this. How much do you think we spent on this extraordinary hose Memorial Day weekend at Menards? How much was it?
I think it was like $10.
Yeah, it was $9.99 on sale. It was the last one on the rack. So obviously people were out, Memorial Day sale. Normally I think they go between 20 and 30 bucks. This is a medium duty. That is a steal for 10 bucks. So if you went out on a holiday, got some hose like this, 75 feet, reaches throughout your whole house, 10 bucks. This is 5 bucks. And even if you put the end on it for 5 or 10 bucks, you're looking way, even half the price of what the Hygger one cost. So there are deals like that out there. Again, the reason that you want to use a brand new one is, if you're using this for your fish tanks and everything, I mean, obviously you don't want to be like using this, some old hose. You want to get a new one. We are going to flush it really good, but honestly, it shouldn't really be any problem with our other tanks. It is fairly flexible, so it shouldn't be a problem. So we're going to kind of start using this for our tanks, and then we're going to have one in that side of the house, one over here in this side of the house. Super cheap, super awesome. Okay, so I use luckily I'm a nurse and I have some pretty awesome scissors, dressing scissors. Actually cut right through this and basically just popped it right on here. Probably going to put a hose clamp on here because it is a little bit loose on here as compared to this. So we'll throw a little hose clamp on there. But basically for way less than any hose would cost or anything, we're going to have this amazing setup. Again, lots and lots of DIY type of people have done things like this. I mean, this was the old kind of fashion thing where you just kind of did it in the bucket kind of thing. You could always go that route. We do keep one of these as a backup just to use for little tanks or something once in a while if we got to do something. But yeah, just cut that one right off. So obviously, if you don't have a big pair of dressing scissors like, nursing scissors like we have, you could use anything. You could use an old steak knife like that, right? You could use a razor, you could use tin snips, you could use a hacksaw. Again, I am going to probably put a little hose clamp on there, but that's going to be a really awesome siphon that we're going to have for the whole house. This is going to be a super cool little one that we're going to have just for this room and for the pond. And we're going to keep all of this. I mean, I'm going to set it aside. You never know where you're going to need it. And we're going to keep all these old fittings and stuff like this. But quite honestly, most of this is really kind of cool, really kind of easy. And again, if you can get stuff on sale and you can DIY stuff, you're going to save a lot of money. Hopefully this helps, people who are trying to figure this stuff out. We are going to be doing a follow-up on these tanks and stuff like that. We are going to tomorrow we're going to be releasing another video after this, kind of showing how we did the lights and doing an unboxing from Chewy and all that kind of stuff. Right after we shoot this, however, we are going to be releasing a video after that, after this second one here, about how we fill this vacuum and all that kind of stuff too. Because that's something that is, kind of unique and cool, and a lot of people have done on YouTube, but we're going to kind of show people again anyway. All right, guys, so thanks for watching. Thanks, Hygger. Congratulations to the winner, whoever gets the question right first in the comments. Again, can't be edited. Don't forget that, right?
Yeah.
We're going to have some more videos of the pond coming up, like we said, and the next video is going to be about the lights and stuff, and then the next one after that is going to be filling this vacuum. It's getting kind of late, so we're going to be working on that tomorrow, but you'll probably see it a week or so after this one or the other one or whatever one it is. And we're just going to keep doing follow-ups on this pond until we kind of get it done, doing the filter, DIY, and all that kind of stuff like that. Should be a lot of fun. Make sure you like and subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss those videos. And thanks again for the 13,000 subscribers, guys. Really appreciate it. Everybody take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.